So if you don't know who John McEntee is, he is a Republican TikToker, I guess, who has been kind of making waves. I would say, I don't know, last few months or so, just because he's been making these conservative TikToks and he just comes off as like the most unlikable person ever. Here's one, just for example, of him just doing something and saying something absolutely disgusting, which is the thing that he's going to say, by the way, is a literal crime.
So I always keep this fake Hollywood money in my car. So when a homeless person asks for money, then I give them like a fake $5 bill. So I feel good about myself. They feel good. And then when they go to use it, they get arrested. So I'm actually like helping clean up the community, you know?
And I bet he's joking. I don't think he actually does this, but like what he's literally saying that he wants to do, I don't think he's joking about hating homeless people because he's Republican. But at the same time, what he's literally joking about doing is an actual crime. And ever since he's really been popping off, this guy right here, Walter Masterson, who essentially is a left-wing troll. Like he goes to, Trump rallies, he goes to Republican events like the RNC, and he just trolls them. He likes to troll conservatives, that's what he does. And on TikTok, he has been making these style of videos to kind of just troll John McEntee.
So the presidential candidate who was on Epstein's flight log dropped out of the race to endorse the other presidential candidate who is also on Epstein's flight log. Got it.
This is just like another example, but it also plays into why John McEntee isn't just some random TikToker to be making fun of. And this has gotten to the point where John McEntee has even started acknowledging that Walter Masterson has been making fun of him.
So Walterson is a gay liberal who hates black people. Got it.
So the guy who authored Project 2025, a document that wants to roll back the Civil Rights Act, wants to call me a gay racist because I called him out on his racist dog whistles. Got it.
Yeah, and we'll get into that because that became a whole thing. That JJ from TikTok, great content creator, he made a whole video on the situation. We'll watch it. But yeah, John McEntee, this guy that, DateRightStuff has been, is literally a part of Project 2025 and apparently was a advisor for Trump. We'll have this article right here from the Salon. I try to look at, there's not a lot of articles talking about this. This is the most I was able to get. He also made a dating app for people on the right, which has apparently only been used by men. Donald Trump wants the press and the voters to look away from Project 2025. Instead, his divisiveness is causing journalists to report on the what the fuck is that word? It's causing journalists to report on the web of connections between Trump and the far-right playbook for his desired second term. For instance, one of the many close Trump advisors who now work on 2025 is John McEntee, former Trump White House personal director. McEntee has already confirmed that the plan is to integrate Project 2025 into the official Trump campaign. When McEntee isn't scheming for ways to purge the federal government of reality-based bureaucrats and replace them with MAGA loyalists, he's busy separating foolish MAGA men for their money with a dating app called DateRightStuff. The app, which was funded initially by far-right tech investor Peter Thiel, who is a large reason why J.D. Vance even has a career, purports to connect Republican singles looking for love. In truth, it is not clear what the app does, though many users expressed concerns about the data it may be collecting. One thing that seems unlikely is that it's a sincere effort to get its Republican users to the wedding altar. For one thing, while it's exclusively for heterosexual people, the app seems to suffer a dearth. It doesn't have a lot of female users, despite recruitment efforts led by the sister of Trump, ex-White House press secretary Kayleigh McEntee. There's a lot of Mackies involved in this. Two Republican staffers in Washington, D.C. said many young conservative women have ignored McEntee's outreach and have instead jeeringly passed around screenshots of her messages to group chats. So yeah, he tried to start a dating app, did not go well. The strangest red flag may be the primary way McEntee markets the website, with videos selling the fantasy of being a man on a date with a woman who cannot wait to hear your most despicable opinions. The conceit of these videos, which are shared widely on Instagram and TikTok, is McEntee is on a date and the POV is you and the camera on a date with him. So the audience takes the role of the woman listening to McEntee's conspiracy theories about false flags.
Ever notice that drag queens never go read to the elderly?
Probably because the elderly can read. McEntee often makes these opinions as shocking as he can, so the videos get outrage, reactions, and press. Yeah, it's just kind of outrage bait. But he's been kind of growing as of late, well, just over the last few years, no, last few months. This has been something I kind of want to talk about just because it's just fucking weird. Like, let's look at his most recent videos.
The sea level is rising. We're all gonna die. The only thing rising is the price of these homes. The sea level.
Guess what, man? Once the sea levels rise enough, there are not going to be homes there to sell. So fucking stupid.
If it's racist to make English the official language in America, why isn't it racist that English is the official language in Australia?
What is... I like this comment. This guy is always on to nothing. Like, what is he arguing about? Like, it's not even like a big culture war thing right now to be like, oh no, he's saying, can we please make English mandatory? Is it even mandatory in Australia to speak English? Okay, it's obviously not a mandatory that you have to speak English.
Why is it?
So, what is this argument about? I'm Australian and we have no official language. Do you have Google in America? Like, this isn't even rage bait. This is just like, it just shows how stupid you are.
It's sad that your average fast food restaurant has more regulations than an abortion clinic.
What?
It's sad that your
Yeah, what does this mean? In my state, they have the same regulations as any other surgical centers. I feel like that's more than a fast food joint.
So now they're
Like, this just shows how, like, it's just so easy to say things and just put it on the internet without needing to do anything other than just lie.
man can't tell a woman what to do with her body, but a female president can send male bodies into war?
You're conservative. Why do you give a shit? Aren't you like pro-army, pro-military? That's your whole thing. That is so fucking stupid. I also love how like this guy, as we saw earlier, was making fun of Walter for being gay. But like, dude, I'm gonna be honest, you cannot tell me that he's not a little zesty, okay? He's talking about, he's trying to make this whole like, oh, women should not have a say in whether or not they can get an abortion, and about like the draft and all that shit while he's eating an ice cream sundae. Like, come on, man, you're zesty. You're a little zesty. Stop hiding it. But yeah, there was the reason why I really wanted to get into this outside of it being a slow news week is because we have this video right here from JJ, where he kind of covers this whole situation between Walter Masterson and, you know, John McEntee. Basically, John McEntee makes this video about stop and frisk at airports. Walter Masterson calls it out for being a racist dog whistle, which it is, because stop and frisk has historically disproportionately affected black people more than any other race. And this became a whole thing that JJ covers, so we'll probably watch some of it, not all of it.
We used to have stop and frisk for criminals in this country, but liberals whined, so now we only have it for soccer moms at the airport.
Okay, let me catch y'all up to speed. Walter made this video.
So you like it when police stop and frisk black people, but you're angry when
Oh yeah, this also involves like someone else too.
women have to go through a metal detector.
Jeff Dunn leaps to defend the insurrectionists and says, whoa, he said criminals, not black people, bro. You might actually be the racist one.
We'll actually look up
Assuming that he was talking-
This is a good video, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna try to look up the actual clip.
I'm at the airport right now, which is the same place that DateRight was when he made a video about stop and frisk. Now, when you say stop and frisk, when you mention that, you are talking about black people. Stop and frisk disproportionately affects black people. Yes, I was one of the liberals that whined about stop and frisk in New York City. I was one of the people who protested because it disproportionately affects black people. It is a tactic used by the NYPD on people just living their life. So yes, when Date Right called people that were stopped and frisked criminals, I found that offensive.
Stop and frisk at the air. Like, his whole thing was like, oh, we don't allow stop and frisk for criminals, but we allow it for soccer moms at the airport. That's just called being inspected to make sure, like, you don't bring anything dangerous on the plane. Everyone goes through that, not just soccer moms. Like, what are you talking about? What are you, a soccer mom? Is that why you're complaining about it? You're just like, I keep getting inspected because I'm a soccer mom. What are you doing?
Stop and frisk is a program of the NYPD where they deliberately just stop and frisk people of color. NYPD had a literal quota of how many people they had to stop and frisk. So NYPD would just stop and frisk people that weren't white. The statistics are all there. So when Date Right comes on and says, oh, they used to stop.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, of course it's a racist dog whistle. It's him. That's what his whole, like the whole thing of his channel is. It's just doing dog whistles. That's what it is. Like, there's no, it just like here's the original
We
one.
have stop and frisk for criminals in this country, but liberals whine, so now we only have it for soccer moms at the airport.
Yeah. Yeah, liberals whined, aka a bunch of information came out that it was disproportionately affecting black people, so they stopped it. So, like, what are we doing?
Why do Democrats turn into right-wing fascists with police everywhere anytime there's a foreign leader visit or a convention in their city? It's almost like they care more about their donors' safety than their citizens.
I mean, he's not wrong here. There we go. We found the one video where he's actually right. We're like, yeah, Democrats tend to go pretty right-wing on some of these issues, like the police and shit like that, because they care more about their donors. It's probably why they play, such a big role in leaning moderate recently after the DNC in such a big way, because they obviously care more about their donors than they do, about progressives or just people on the left in general who aren't already voting for them. That's all we really have to talk about him. There's nothing really special about him altogether outside of just being dumb. Again, this has just been a guy that I've been seeing pop up a lot lately, especially with like Walter Masterson, because I do follow him on TikTok. He's great. I would definitely check out his videos. But like, it just goes to show how easy it can be just to be a dumb guy. I mean, literally in the article that I brought up, they even mentioned like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate of being like, yeah, this is how easy it can be just to like farm rage bait, being conservative and just get famous off it, even though you're saying the dumbest shit ever. Like, that's really it. It's just another dumb conservative, but like, I just think it's kind of funny because he's pretty zesty looking. I'm gonna be like, that's what I just can't get over about him being like, oh, Walter Masterson is a gay liberal. I'm being like, dude, you have the guy best friend face. Oh, but yeah, that's about it.